Hello, YouTubers. Alright, I'm gonna start out by addressing the elephant in the room. What are you doing, man? You're supposed to be wearing an eye patch and talking like a pirate. This is true. My punishments for posting my video late were wear an eye patch on the day of my next video and be a pirate. But I assure you, I am not shirking my responsibilities. I am wearing a patch. That is an eye. Seeing as you didn't spell it out, I took the liberties of translating it for you. And James, you asked me to be a pirate. Just so we're clear, James's actual request for me was, vlogger number 2, you must be a pirate for one day. So I thought about this and I was like, I'm pretty terrible at talking like a pirate. Arg, matey, ye gonna walk the plank. So I decided to look it up. Dictionary.com defines pirate as a person who uses or reproduces the work of another without permission. Now I believe that finding a loophole in your punishments is in fact piracy in and of itself. I mean, come on, that's something a pirate would do, right? But just to be consistent with the definition, I'm going to reproduce the work of another without their permission. I have reproduced the Mona Lisa. And wait a second, did I get the permission of Leonardo da Vinci? I don't think I did. Now of course, this is a really derpy reproduction, but nothing in the pirate rule says it has to be good. James, you asked if we had any new rules to add to this whole thing. I really just want to take away a rule first. I'm kind of tired of hiding my name. So from now on, I will no longer be known as vlogger number 2. You guys can call me Kyle. And vlogger number 3 is Ryan. Ryan, in your video, you talk about free will and whether or not it exists. That's a weighty subject. Personally, I believe we do have free will. And just because the brain starts firing commands early doesn't mean that it's any less our choice. That's really just the brain doing what it's in our head to do. It's really an interesting topic though, and I would really like to hear other sides of the whole thing. James, I just want to personally congratulate you on your new friend. It really is a very complicated thing trying to penetrate a social circle. Whether it's just 1 or 2 people, or you're trying to get into a group of 10 or more friends who are already very close with each other. It all comes down to building rapport and making those people feel like they've known you forever. But if you think about it too much, then you're just gonna drive yourself and your new friends crazy. Now the reason I bring this up is because you mentioned really quickly that it is a lot like dating. And while I can definitely see your point, I just want to raise awareness to the fact that neither you or Ryan have actually had to deal with the world of dating in a very long time. And let me tell you, it sucks. I'm an optimistic person, I try not to focus on the negatives. But to me, the whole world of dating just seems a little broken. In my ideal world, dating would be very simple. But no, there's all these hidden things. There's a whole hell of a lot of awkward moments because one person doesn't want to say one thing that the other person doesn't want to say. And it's a big clusterfuck of chaos and stupid. Why does it have to be so crazy? It should be so easy. Maybe I'm just going about this the wrong way. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that the world should be a little more transparent. The only reason I feel uncomfortable going up to somebody and directly saying my intentions is because the common conception of this is that it would be creepy. Granted, there are people who would make this creepy. It's really just a guy trying to take action in his life and make something happen. So my challenge to you is actually very similar to the challenge I posed in my first video, where I told you guys to stop being offended by things. Take that to the next level. Allow the public to be transparent by being transparent yourself. Because a world where nobody claims their intention and uses other means, sometimes false means, to get their intentions across, are nothing but a bunch of pirates. Full circle, baby. Carl stayed low to the ground, cowering in fear in a fetal position. The attack was too much for him. He thought back to one of his therapy sessions that he stole, and remembered a method he was taught to calm down in a time of stress. Count down from 5, and breathe in and out to welcome the Zen. He found the quietest place he could and ducked his head low, and counted 5, 4, 3, 2, boom! An explosion went off. Shit was everywhere. The shockwave was fierce. He could feel it ripping through his chest. It was so loud it left a ringing in his ears he couldn't shake. It got louder and louder and louder until he realized that's actually a buzzing noise. He shook his head back and forth and opened his eyes, and there he was, in the corner of a solitary confinement room. Padded walls, arms wrapped up in a straitjacket. The ringing sound he heard was the dinner bell. A tiny slot at the bottom of the door opened up. A plate of food carelessly slid in. Mixed in with his moldy eggs was a tiny rolled up note. He pulled it out from the eggs and unscrolled it. What he saw he could not comprehend. And that is all.